My advice to Tom Homan and ICE is to take a time out.
Have you guys seen this? Boston Mayor Michelle Wu wants Tom Homan and ICE to take a little break.
No one is buying the line that these secret police tactics are making communities safer.
You're right, the American people aren't stupid.
Here's what I have to say to Boston Mayor Michelle Wu.
They want the rapist, they want the child sex predator rapist to live next to the schools.
Grace and peace, everybody. We are back, and we're back up there in Boston. Mayor Wu is having a rough to go at it, and we're just going to keep riding it out because, hey, we're going to talk about it because she's going to keep doing something crazy. So she's made the declaration. You might have heard her where she told Tom Homan to go to timeout. I don't know, she tell him in a little corner, like, you go to timeout. But I want to talk about why it is that these people are willing to give up so much as it relates to security for the residents of Boston versus the immigrants to Boston, whether they're legal or not. Why are you not making a priority these people that live in Boston, that pay taxes, that have been raised there, so on and so forth? Why are you not making a priority for them above your immigrants? And again, the people that we're talking about are deporting people that are real criminals, getting the real criminals out of the system. Because if I'm understanding correctly, if these mayors actually supported and helped with the deportation project, there wouldn't be these mass running through Walmarts and coming up into job sites, because they would know where the people are that they're looking for. If the cities actually help them find the bad actors versus, no, we're just going to let you we're not going to help you at all. And now you have to just go and do this mass deportation, this mass interrogation, when you could have just told us where the people were. It seems pretty bad. But let me bring this in and you check it out. What you think?
Advice to Tom Homan and ICE is to take a time out. Reassess what you are doing and how you are doing it. A little friendly advice from the safest major city in the country. We know how to keep people safe. We know that that requires collaboration and trust and community members holding each other and holding our law enforcement officials and city officials and state government to the highest of standards. The American people are not stupid. No one is buying the line that these secret police tactics are making communities safer. No one is buying that this is making cities safer, how they are doing their jobs.
That is Boston's mayor pushing back again on ICE on what she calls their secret police tactics. And Kelly, the mayor, says there's a lack of transparency from the Trump administration.
So much so that Mayor Michelle Wu signs an executive order seeking more information from federal officials on ICE activity. And she says, in fact, her office plans to regularly submit Freedom of Information Act requests to the Department of Homeland Security to find out who's being detained and why. So Mayor Wu, she doubled down again, referring to ICE's operations as secret police tactics, arresting people without due process, wearing masks, and questioning residents about their immigration status based on their ethnicity. Mayor Wu said the Trump administration is making the city less safe and undermining Boston's economic progress, tourism, and growth of small businesses. The city has already taken several legal actions to oppose the administration's attempts to end birthright citizenship, oppose ending humanitarian protections for immigrants, and challenging billions in cuts to funding for medical research. Now, this latest order, Wu said, is to let the community know that Boston is not backing down.
We are taking every possible action here in our city to push back and to stand up for basic rights, for our freedoms, and for the opportunities that we have been building here as a city whose mission every day is to be a home for everyone.
Now, just
what about your
last week,
residents,
ICE
though?
leaders held a news conference announcing the arrest of nearly 1,500 people in a month-long effort. ICE officials said their work was essential to restore public safety. However, Mayor Wu went on to say that Boston is one of the safest major cities in the country, and she doesn't need federal officials telling Boston what safety looks like.
Have you guys seen this? Boston Mayor Michelle Wu wants Tom Homan and ICE to take a little break. Take a time out. Mayor, I don't think you understand. We're not asking little kids to go into their bedroom and chill. We're trying to take murderers, drug dealers, and rapists off the streets and get them out of the United States of America. And here's another clip from her.
The American people are not stupid. No one is buying the line that these secret police tactics are making communities safer. No one is buying that this is making cities safer, how they are doing their job.
You're right, the American people aren't stupid. You think we're dumb by trying to tell us that this isn't a problem. It is a problem. We need to get the murderers and the drug dealers and the scumbags back home and out of here. It's a problem.
Mayor Wu is the latest example of how they've been treating our ICE agents.
Of Boston?
Of Boston. Here's what she said.
I don't know of any police department that routinely wears masks. We know that there are other groups that routinely wear masks. NSC 131 routinely wears masks.
Mayor, just to clarify, are you comparing ICE to NSC 131, neo-Nazi group, comparing them to a Nazi group?
What I said is that Boston police and no police department that I know of at the local level routinely wears masks.
So the White House is calling her out for stoking hatred against our law enforcement, but she's doubling down on this rhetoric. And the largest ICE operation ever took place in Boston. It's called Operation Patriot, and it resulted in the arrest of nearly 1,500 illegal immigrants. Now, Fox News was embedded with these ICE agents just for a few hours. While we were embedded, agents were arrested. They took down a murderer, 2 child rapists, one who lived next to a playground, 1 fentanyl trafficker, 1 adult rapist, 1 child sexual assaulter. That all happened within a few hours, but overall, they arrested 1,461 illegal aliens.
Wow.
790 of them had criminal convictions or charges. 277 had final removal or deportation orders. They are keeping the streets of Boston safe without the help of Massachusetts because it is a sanctuary state.
My officers and agents walk into danger so other people can sleep safely at night, so kids can make it to school safely and play outside. So while it's easy to be an armchair quarterback and make up talking points that get activists riled up, the bottom line is my officers and agents are out there protecting the same people who are threatening their safety. Law enforcement's common sense. Politicians need to stop putting my people in danger. I'm not asking them to stop. I'm demanding that they stop. Here's what I have to say to Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, and anyone else stirring up the outrage about what ICE does. These are real people with real families you're hurting with your ridiculous rhetoric and inflammatory comments. And it's time to remember that.
One of the worst things the Democrats ever said, and what most of all walked back, was to fund the police.
Yeah.
Right? Reimagine police.
That's
and
right.
they spent the next 6 years trying to tell everyone that was just a few handful of people in the squad. This is the same thing. And the reason why they cover their faces, 2 reasons. One, a lot of these guys are picking up international terrorists.
That's
Right? International terrorists. Number 2 is because of the aggression on the left of people doxing, following, getting in between ICE and illegal immigrants, they have to worry about their identity. Do you think they want to wear a mask? Also, you're upset that ICE is wearing masks, but you're not upset that Harvard students are wearing a mask? You're not upset that NYU, City College, UCLA, they're wearing masks? You have no idea what the mask ban is about. Can't get the governor of New York to support a mask ban. But you have law enforcement agents covering their face for their identity, and now you're saying take the mask off.
Not just the doxing that's going on when it comes to our ICE agents, but you got the cartel that is targeting them. They're breaking up major operations every single day. And I just got to ask the Democrats, is thank you not in your vocabulary? They just took, without your help at all, you gave them no resources, no sources and methods, took over 1,000 criminals off your street. You would think they would thank the ICE agents for
Don't you think
They're saying, so what are they saying? They want the rapist, they want the child sex predator rapist to live next to the school? They want him to stay in his house and watch all the little kids? Is that what they're saying?
They want the ICE agents to arrest the child rapist without a mask. You idiots.
There we go. But I wonder if, as I mentioned before in a previous episode, what will it take for Mayor Wu or Karen Bass, Brandon Johnson, to finally say enough is enough. We need ICE to do their job. We need to help ICE do their job. What would it take? What will it be that happens in their city on their watch that they finally say enough is enough? We got to work with them. I wonder what it'll be. Because it's pretty gross that they keep stoking up this rhetoric. And we'll look at a video later on where there were people who were attempting to harm ICE agents, federal agents. They were trying to ambush them and do them harm, physical harm, because of this. That's crazy. Where did they get this from? Where did they get all this conversation from? From their leaders. But anyway, I want to know what you think about it. Please leave me a comment down below. Do you agree with Mayor Wu? Do you agree with Tom Homan? Who do you agree with as it relates to how we're going about this process? Do you think that I'm right? If the cities actually supported and helped, there wouldn't need to be this mass influx of looking for people in a haystack, because you actually told us where the needle is. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I really appreciate it. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.